Starting from zero, the financial story nobody tells.
I want to tell you a story. It's a story about a journey, one that millions of people dream about, but quietly assume is not meant for them. It's not a story about inheriting money. It's not about winning the lottery. It's not about being born lucky, connected, or privileged. This is a story about starting from absolute zero and slowly, patiently building a life of financial security. Not overnight, not through shortcuts, but through a series of small, unglamorous decisions that quietly change everything. This isn't theory. This is the exact playbook I would follow if I lost everything today and had to start again with nothing, except the knowledge I now have. This journey isn't a sprint. It's a marathon, or better yet, a binge-worthy series where each episode builds on the last, leading to a finale where you become the hero of your own financial story. So get comfortable, let the noise fade away. This is Season 1 of your financial life. Episode 1, the moment you stop ignoring money. Our story doesn't begin with a bank account. It begins with the truth most people avoid for as long as they can. Money matters not because it buys luxury, not because it brings happiness, but because it quietly controls your options. Money decides where you live, how you spend your time, what stress follows you to bed at night. Ignoring money doesn't make it disappear. It only means you let circumstances write your story for you. When I was younger, I believed money was just a tool for buying things. I saw it as stressful, complicated, something to deal with later. That belief cost me years. Because money is not just currency. It is freedom to leave a job that drains you. Freedom to say no without panic. Freedom to care for family without destroying your future. When you finally accept that money matters, it's like turning on the lights in a dark room. You don't magically become rich, but for the first time you can see. You can see the obstacles, the traps, the paths forward. This realization is the pilot episode. Without it, everything else is just noise. Episode 2, Learning the Language of Money. Once the lights are on, you need a map. Because the world of money is a foreign country. Most people are dropped into without instructions. Financial literacy is not about being smart. It's about understanding the rules. If I was starting from zero today, my first investment would not be stocks. It would be knowledge. I would learn how money actually works. Not from influencers promising shortcuts, but from boring, reliable sources. I would learn that compound interest is not just math. It's time working quietly when nobody is watching. I would learn the difference between assets and liabilities. An asset puts money into your pocket. A liability pulls it out. A car may feel like progress, but payments, fuel, insurance, maintenance quietly drain your future. Most people are not bad with money. They're just illiterate. They're playing a game without knowing the rules. Financial literacy turns you from a passenger into a driver. And once you understand the rules, the game becomes fair. Episode 3, the beliefs that decide your future. But knowledge alone is not enough. Because your mindset can sabotage everything you learn. Your money mindset is shaped long before your first paycheck. It comes from childhood phrases like, "We can't afford that money is the root of evil." "People like us don't get rich." Those ideas don't disappear. They sit quietly in your decisions. A scarcity mindset tells you save out of fear. Avoid risk, play small. An abundance mindset says learn, plan, build. If I were starting again, I would audit my beliefs. Do I deserve security? Do I see opportunity or danger? Does money make me anxious or curious? I would change my language. Instead of saying I can't afford that, I would ask, how can I afford that? That question changes everything, because poor habits are loud, but poor beliefs are silent, and they decide your future long before numbers do. Episode 4, Building the Moat. Now comes the real first action, the part nobody wants to do. The emergency fund. This is not exciting money. This is not investing money. This is survival money. 3 to 6 months of basic expenses stored safely, untouched. Because life does not ask for permission before it breaks your plans. A medical bill, a job loss, a family emergency without a buffer. Every crisis becomes debt. If I were starting from zero, every extra dollar would go here first. No exceptions, because an emergency fund is not about returns. It's about peace. It allows you to invest without panic, to walk away from bad situations, to breathe. This is where most people quit and where quiet winners separate. Episode 5, Letting Time Do the Work. Only after safety comes growth. This is where patience becomes powerful. Retirement feels far away until suddenly it isn't. Time is the greatest financial asset you have. If I was starting today, I would use tax-advantaged accounts first. Not because they're exciting, but because they are efficient. I wouldn't chase hot stocks. I wouldn't gamble. I would buy the market low-cost index funds. Broad diversification, automatic contributions. Even small amounts, because consistency beats intensity. The goal is not to get rich fast. The goal is to never be broke again. Most wealth is built quietly while life is busy. The episode nobody warned you about. Let me tell you a truth most people learn too late. Waiting feels safe until you calculate the cost. 1 year becomes 5, 5 becomes 10. And suddenly the math is brutal. The biggest regret is not losing money. It's not starting sooner that regret doesn't shout. It whispers when it's already expensive. The final scene. This entire journey is not about money. It's about control, about choice. About waking up one day and realizing you are no longer afraid of a single unexpected bill. This is not a one-time lesson. It's a lifelong series. You don't skip episodes. You don't rush seasons. You just keep pressing play. And slowly, quietly, your story changes. You stop reacting. You start designing. You stop surviving. You start building. The only question left is this: are you ready to start before regret becomes your teacher? Because the story doesn't begin when you have money. It begins when you decide your future matters.